In today's video, I'm going to guide you step by step through a financial plan designed to help you use your money to live a happier and more fulfilling life. And by the end of the video, you'll learn how to optimize your cash flow, be intentional with your spending to achieve your life goals, and find the right balance between enjoying the present and planning for your future. All tailored for those in their mid to late 20s. So if you're new here, I'm Tom, a certified financial planner, and on this channel we dive into personal finance, personal development, and business strategies to help you make smarter and more informed decisions with your money. So let's start by looking at your personal cash flow. This is a snapshot of how efficiently you're using your money each month. To figure this out, take your total take-home income and subtract your essential expenses. Let's look at an example with John, who earns $3,400 a month from his job. His essential expenses include everything that keeps his life running smoothly. Things like rent or mortgage payments, utilities, internet, phone bill, groceries, gas, and minimum debt payments. These are all non-negotiables that keep the lights on and food on the table. Typically, these essentials should take up to 50 to 60% of your take-home pay. So in John's case, his essential expenses total around $1,700 a month. When you subtract that from his $3,400 income, he's left with $1,700 in free cash flow. This is the extra money John can use however he wants, whether that's saving for a future home, traveling, investing, or paying off student loans. Knowing your free cash flow is crucial because it's the foundation for reaching your financial goals. It tells you exactly how much you have to work with each month to put towards what matters most to you. Now, the key here is to regularly monitor your cash flow so you always have a clear picture of where your money is going and how much you have left over to build your future. Step 2 is all about purpose-based spending. Now that you've figured out your personal cash flow, and how much extra money you have each month, it's time to think about your future. Picture your life 3 to 5 years from now. What do you want it to look like? This step is about aligning your free cash flow with your personal goals and making every dollar count. So let's bring John back into the picture here. John has a few big goals. He wants to pay off his student loans, save for a down payment on a house, eventually work for himself full time, and start investing for his future so he can retire early. But here's the catch. Every goal comes with an opportunity cost, meaning focusing on one goal may delay progress on another goal. So John needs to be intentional about his choices. First, John needs to get clear on what each goal is going to cost. So first is the student loans. John has $25,000 in student loans with a 7% interest rate and pays $250 a month. John also wants to save for a down payment on a home. With an average home price of $400,000 in the US and he wants to put 20% down, he would need $80,000. When you add up all the legal fees, property taxes, and other costs, let's round it up to $100,000. Now that's a big goal, but we'll break it down shortly into a manageable monthly savings, making it much more achievable. John has a dream goal to work for himself in a couple years, but this requires a safety net. He'll need at least a 1-year cash buffer to cover his expenses while he builds his business, which gives him the freedom to take that risk without constantly worrying about paying his bills. For John, retiring early might feel like a distant goal, but getting started now makes a huge difference. Calculating how much you need for retirement can feel overwhelming for a lot of folks, especially when you factor in inflation. For example, if John's current $40,000 yearly income needs to cover his expenses in retirement, he'll need about $96,000 per year in 30 years adjusted for inflation. Using the 4% rule, he'd need roughly $2.4 million in his retirement bucket saved to live comfortably. Now that number can seem daunting to anyone, but starting small helps. A good rule of thumb is to aim to contribute at least 10% of your income to your 401k or retirement accounts. If John does this, it would be about $340 a month, and if his current job provides an employer match, his savings would grow even faster. So as you can see, in step 2, the idea is to put a financial number to each of your goals and figure out how much you need to save or invest to achieve them. This way, you're not just spending your money, you're directing it towards building the life you want. Step 3 is about organizing your finances to reach your goals. Now that John has defined his goals and understands the costs, it's time for a feasibility check to see what's possible and how to get there. So let's start with John's first goal, paying off his student loans. Let's compare a couple of scenarios here. If John sticks with his current minimum payment of $250 per month, it would take him about 12 years and 7 months to pay off the loan. However, if he doubles his monthly payment to $500, he could pay off the loan in just 5 years. This would still leave him with an extra $1,200 a month to cover other expenses like travel, hobbies, or emergencies. It's a great example of how small adjustments can have a big impact. Now let's look at John's goal of buying a home. We calculated that he'll need $100,000 for a down payment and other related costs. Saving that amount in 5 years or 60 months would mean putting away about $1,670 per month, which would eat up almost all of his $1,700 in free cash flow. It's possible, but it doesn't leave much room for anything else. Now, if John extends his timeline to 7 years, he'll need to save about $1,190 a month, leaving him with an extra $510 monthly, which is more doable. So he should also consider setting up an automatic savings plan and keeping these funds in a high yield savings account to make his money work harder and potentially reach his goal faster. John will also need to think about the bigger picture of buying a home, familiarizing himself with mortgage options, his credit score, interest rates, and the qualification criteria so he's well prepared and can get the loan amount he needs. Next, if John wants to transition into entrepreneurship in 3 years, he'll need to build a cash buffer to cover his living expenses while he gets his business off the ground. With his lifestyle costing $1,700 a month, $1,700 times 12, he'll need just over 20 grand saved up to cover 1 year of living expenses. Now, to hit this target, John would need to save about $600 a month, which is comfortably within his free cash flow, leaving him with $1,100 extra each month. If he wants to make this move in 2 years, he'll need to save about $800 a month, which he can also comfortably do. However, pursuing this goal while saving for a home might not be feasible at the same time, and quitting his stable job could impact his ability to qualify for a mortgage. So something to keep in mind there. Finally, let's look at John's goal of retiring early. If John is 27 and wants to retire at 57, he'll need to seriously start investing. Assuming an 8% average annual return if he contributes $1,400 a month, he'll have invested around $500,000 of his own money, but his portfolio could grow to nearly $2.1 million by the time he's 57, adjusted for inflation. Now, saving $1,400 a month in your 20s isn't easy or realistic for some people, but leveraging your 401k and the match and finding ways to increase your income can help bridge the gap. The more you earn, the more you can save and invest, and the faster your money can grow through compounding. Step 3 is all about mapping out a realistic path to your goals, adjusting timelines if needed, and getting clear on the trade-offs. It's not just about the numbers, it's about making thoughtful choices that align with your vision for your future. Step 4 is about organizing your priorities and understanding the trade-offs you'll need to make along the way. As you work through your financial plan, it's important to remember 2 key things. First, depending on where you see yourself in 3, 5, or 10 years, you'll need to make different choices with your extra monthly cash flow to get there. For short-term goals, focus on saving and make sure your money is in high-interest accounts so it's working for you. But for goals that are 5 years or more down the road, investing could be a better option to help you reach those milestones faster. Second, take the time to break down your goals to see how realistic they are. This will help you understand exactly what actions you need to take today to achieve what you want within your desired time frame. Life will change along the way. You might get a raise, switch jobs, get married, or start a family. Each of these milestones will require you to adjust, reprioritize, and sometimes even change your goals. One more critical thing to consider is choosing your trade-offs. Every financial decision involves opportunity costs, what you give up when you choose one option over another. For example, buying a brand new car instead of saving that money or paying down debt. So being aware of these trade-offs helps you make more informed decisions, not just by considering the immediate benefit, but also by thinking about what you might be giving up. That said, don't stress over the small day-to-day purchases. If it's something like a coffee or a lunch, just enjoy it. But when it comes to bigger decisions like buying a home or a car, you need to weigh those choices carefully. Major purchases can impact other significant goals like retiring early, starting a business, or paying off debt quickly. It's nearly impossible to achieve all your goals at once, so prioritizing is key. Focus on what matters most to you right now. For example, in my mid 20s, while saving in my 401k and paying down my student loans, my fiance and I were hyper focused on saving up for our wedding and first home. That's where the bulk of our money went. We made the minimum payment on our student loans and we contributed only up to the match in our 401k. But after we bought the house, my focus shifted back to paying off student loans and saving to start my own business. It's all about making strategic choices based on your current priorities at the time. When you're evaluating big financial decisions, always ask yourself, how will this affect my future and what am I giving up by choosing this now? By doing this, you can make sure your decisions today align with your goals for tomorrow. And this is how I've approached my own finances, and it's helped me build a life I have today. So I hope sharing this will help you make better and more informed decisions with your money too. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.